Hello, everybody. Welcome to lesson 7 of Introduction to Sakha. On this episode and going forward, we'll be using this different format. I have copied and enlarged and made more beautiful the text of the text. And I have copied the vocabulary and the grammar sections. I will read everything out loud. When we get to the sentences, the dialogues, etc., there is a literal translation to English and a natural translation. Some of the Sakha endings, like dua, I did not translate because there's not really a translation. Um, Here I put have lar. I mean, I could just say have, but some of those I did that just to illustrate. Okay, notice that ending is there. Okay, so if you are looking at the screen, you can read along. And if you are just listening or you're driving, that is fine too. I'll read the Sakha and the English out loud. All right. So first the vocabulary. We're on setis urwak kelar vocabulary. Aga, father. Agam, my father. Agan, your father. Agata, his or her father. Ye, mother. Eche, grandfather. Ebe, grandmother. Kepsir, tells, like tells a story. Ulelir, works. Ister, listens. Laljar, hurts or is ill. Kieche, evening, in the evening. Sarsen, tomorrow. Min, I. Min agam, my father. Bieche, to be. So to be is one word in Sakha. Okay, on the grammar. I will summarize. You can read this in the PDF or on the screen here. But I will summarize and then I will read the table. So the possession, in the singular started with, when you say my something, his something, your something, you are putting uh, an ending at the end of the word. So the example we have is aga, which is father. For my father, we could say min agam or just agam. Your father, en agan or just agan. His or her father, kini agata or just agata. On the table, you can see all the endings. After, if a noun ends in a vowel, to say my plus that noun, you will add an M after it. Okay? So, and then if it ends in a consonant, you will add im, or depending on the vowel that is in a noun. So we have agam, my father, iem, my mother, ogam, my child, tubum, my head, atam, my name, etim, my meat, walum, my boy or my son, utum, my milk. For your, same concept, but instead of an M, we have an ng sound. So add ng after vowel, add ing, or un after a consonant. Arang, your father. Iyang, your mother. Orong, your child. Tubung, your head. Atang, your name. Eting, your meat. Walung, your boy. Yutung, your milk. For his, her, or its, after a vowel, you add ta, te, ta, or tu. After a consonant, you add a, e, o, or u. So we have agata, we'll say his for the examples. His father. Iete, his mother. Ogata, his child. Tubutu, his head. Ata, his name. Ete, his meat. Wala, his boy. Ute, his milk. So again, to summarize what it says after the table, you can say it with the the pronoun I, you, he, or she before the noun that is possessed, or you could leave it out. If you leave it in, it emphasizes the statement. The examples it gives, let's see. So yeah, the first and second persons, the pronoun may be absent. So if we say arang kelle, your father came. Ogom urenir, my child studies or is studied. And if you do a possessive word, you put the possessive ending, lar, ler, etc., and its forms, and then you add the possession suffix after it. So haradas, pencil. Haradastar, pencils. Haradastarim, my pencils. Kidige, book. Kidigeler, books. Kidigelerin, your books. Aga, child. Agalar, children. Agalara, his or her children. And then we have a note telling us that nouns can sometimes be adverbs. For instance, kieche means evening, but it could also just be in the evening. So if we say kieche boalla, evening arrived, evening has arrived, evening is here, it is evening. Kieche agar, he reads in the evening. Such a dual function is also characteristic of the following words, among others. Kuchen, winter or in the winter. Sayan, summer or in the summer. Brach, distant or distantly, etc. Now I told you guys we would have conversation starting this lesson. So in this lesson, we have our first Gipstetin conversation. En ehen eben balardoa. The D looks like a lowercase g in the handwriting font. In dua. Do you have a grandma and grandpa? Grandpa and grandma, literally. Balar, have? I do. Yeah, I have. I do have. Kidiler kırdagastar. Are they elderly? Kidiler kırdagastar. Yeah, they're elderly. They're older. Kidiler üleliler. Do they work? Ehem kırdagasta ülelir. Ebem lalcar. My grandpa is old and works, or but works. And my grandma is ill. Arang hanna ülelir. Where does your father work? Aram kolhozka ülelir. My father works on a farm. Keep in mind that kolhoz is a collective farm. This is a Soviet era word, but voila. Ian tugu ganar. What does your mother do? Iem emie kolhozka ülelir. My mother also works on a collective farm. Keep in mind, if you're reading this, that the dash between words shows that the word after the dash is a suffix, is an ending in the Sakha version, and a squiggly dash indicates that the two words around it are one word in Sakha, but two words in English. So that was Iem emie kolhoska ülelir. My mother also works on a collective farm. En ien agar surviardua. Does your mother read and write? Kini agar dagane surviar dagane. She both reads and writes. Kini nuchale bilerdua. Does she know Russian? Nuchale emie biler. Yeah, she knows Russian too. Keskil agata hanna üleliri. Where does Keskil's father work? Kini traktorist. He's a tractorist. He is a tractor driver. He drives a tractor. Kini yete ülelirdoa. Does his mother work? Keskil yete ejete. Ebete, bare, ulaliler. Keskil's mother, grandpa, and grandma all work. 7.2, Kieche in the evening. Kieche, John, bare, Kieche, alor. In the evening, everybody sits at home. Literally all the people. Aram, chachrat, agar, wanna, kepsir, olachanjon, isteller. My father reads the newspaper out loud, or literally, he reads the newspaper and tells it. The adults listen. The other adults listen. Ogalar, urwak, agalar. So keep in mind we have oga, that's o. And then we have aga, that's a. Ogalar, urwak, agalar, wanna, surwialar. Ogalar, urwak, agalar, wanna, surwialar. The children read their lesson and write. Ebem kepsir, kurakus ister. My grandma tells, we could say she tells stories, and the little girl or little girls listen. Hayut bare achelar wanna utwealar. When it's late, everybody eats and then sleeps. Agalar jürgenik utwealar. The children go to sleep quickly. Kiniler sarsen asqualaga erde parallar. They have to, but literally, I have a typo. If you're reading it, it should say go to school, not got to school. So they go to school early tomorrow, or they have to go to school early tomorrow. Kiniler sarsen asqualaga erde parallar. Okay, that is it, I believe. Yes, that is it for lesson 7. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, or suggestions, please leave them in the comment section below. Thank you. See you next time.